Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something I think pretty much everyone can relate to: overcoming procrastination, brain-based strategies for action. Our mission really is to look at the source material we have, excerpts from Overcoming Procrastination, and pull out the key stuff. We want to understand why our brains hit the pause button, and how we can gently nudge them towards actually doing things. So let me ask you, does your to-do list ever feel like it's, well, growing way faster than your motivation? Or maybe you hear yourself saying, oh, I'll start that tomorrow, but tomorrow somehow never quite gets here. If that sounds familiar, listen up, because this is important. You're not lazy. You're not broken or undisciplined. You're human. And this deep dive, it's not just like a list of productivity tips. It's more about understanding your brain and how to kind of rewire it on purpose so it starts working with you, not against you.
Exactly. And that's why this is so relevant right now, isn't it? I mean, we live in a world that's practically built for distraction. You've got notifications pinging, endless feeds to scroll, plus, that fatigue maybe from remote work. It all adds up. Procrastination isn't just common anymore. For a lot of people, it's becoming chronic. It's pretty interesting, actually. Some studies show up to 95% of people admit they procrastinate. And maybe even more telling, over 20% of adults say they're chronic procrastinators. But here's the real insight. This isn't fundamentally about managing your time better. It's really about managing your emotions. It ties into brain chemistry and, importantly, self-compassion. So today, we're going to unpack the why behind it and look at how you can gently coach your brain into action.
That really sets the scene, because I think a lot of us do just write it off as, oh, I'm just being lazy, or, it feels like a failing. But based on the research, what's actually going on? What is procrastination, really?
That's a great question, and it's definitely a perception worth challenging.
Yeah.
According to Dr. Tim Peichel, who's a major researcher in this area, it's not about laziness at all. It's primarily an emotion-focused coping strategy.
Emotion-focused. So how does that work?
Well, think about it. You're not usually avoiding the task itself, like the physical act.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid the feeling connected to it. Maybe it's fear of failure or overwhelm. Maybe it's just boring. Or you doubt yourself.
Ah, okay. The feeling.
Right. And that negative feeling, that discomfort, it triggers your brain's limbic system.
That's the sort of survival brain part.
Exactly. Your survival center. It just wants immediate relief from that bad feeling. So suddenly, scrolling Instagram or watching Netflix feels incredibly appealing, right? It's instant relief. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning long-term goals, self-control, it gets kind of sidelined, overridden.
So the short-term fix wins out.
Precisely. Your brain chooses feeling better right now over working towards your future goals, which really means the solution isn't just try harder or more discipline. It's got to involve emotional intelligence, plus understanding how your own brain works.
That's a huge shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's our brain trying to manage emotions, what are the specific things, the triggers that kick this off? Let's dig into those roots of why we delay.
Right. So the source points to three main brain-based triggers. First up is time inconsistency. You might also hear it called temporal discounting. Basically, our brains are wired for immediate rewards. We naturally undervalue benefits that are far off in the future because they feel abstract, less real.
Like, why write this report now when I could eat this cookie now?
Exactly that. The future reward of finishing the report just doesn't compete with the immediate pleasure of the cookie or the scroll or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Instant gratification wins. The second trigger is task aversion. If a task feels boring or really difficult, or maybe it's just vague and unclear, your brain flags it as unpleasant, something to avoid.
And I guess perfectionism could play into that too, making it feel even harder.
Oh, absolutely. Perfectionism is often lurking there, making the task seem like this huge, scary mountain you have to climb perfectly. So avoidance feels safer. And the third trigger is cognitive overload. This is when your brain just has too much going on. Too many mental tabs open, you could say, or even literally too many tabs on your computer. It gets overwhelmed. It can't prioritize effectively. So what happens? It either freezes or it just defaults to easy autopilot distractions, anything to reduce the load.
Wow, okay. Time inconsistency, task aversion, cognitive overload. I think I recognize all three. It really does feel like my brain has these built-in escape routes sometimes. So knowing the why is fascinating, but let's get practical. What can we actually do about it? And you mentioned these aren't just generic tips, right? These are like neuro-aligned tools designed to work with our brains.
Exactly. They respect how your brain actually functions. Let's walk through a few. First one, the 5-minute start trick. This is brilliant for overcoming that initial resistance. When a task feels daunting, just lower the bar way down. Set a timer, commit to only 5 minutes. That's it.
Just 5 minutes. Seems doable.
It usually is. And the key thing here is that action creates motivation, not the other way around. Just starting, even for that tiny bit, releases some dopamine, that reward chemical. It feels good and it builds a little momentum. Often you'll find you just keep going after the timer goes off.
Okay, I like that. Action activates motivation. What's next?
Next is the implementation intention hack. This tackles vagueness. Instead of a fuzzy goal like, I'll work out tomorrow, you get super specific. You set exactly when and where. Like, after I brush my teeth at 7:30 a.m., I'll go to the living room and do my 20-minute workout.
So making a concrete plan.
A very concrete plan.
Right.
Dr. Peter Goldwitzer's research found this specificity can boost your chances of actually doing it by over 90%. It's like you're preloading the instruction into your brain.
90%. That's huge. Okay, what else?
Tool number 3, name the emotion. This ties back to what we said about procrastination being emotional. So right when you feel that urge to procrastinate, pause. Just for a second. Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Maybe it's, I feel anxious about this, or I feel overwhelmed, or I feel bored, or I just feel stuck.
Just identifying it.
Just identifying and naming it. It sounds simple, but labeling the emotion actually reduces its intensity. It helps bring your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain, back online, so you can respond more thoughtfully instead of just reacting emotionally by, say, opening YouTube.
Right, shifting from reacting to responding. I like that.
Then there's make it visible. Our brains respond really well to visual progress.
Yeah.
So use things like Post-it notes for key tasks, maybe a progress bar for a big project, a habit tracker where you tick off days.
Like seeing the chain of ticks grow.
Exactly. Seeing your success visually creates this positive feedback loop. It rewards the part of your brain that likes completion and makes you want to keep the streak going.
Okay, visible progress. Makes sense. One more.
Yes, the last one is temptation bundling. This is quite clever. You pair something you want to do, something you genuinely enjoy, with a task you tend to put off.
Oh, like linking them together?
Precisely. The rule is you only get to do the enjoyable thing while you're doing the less enjoyable task. For example, maybe you only listen to your absolute favorite podcast while you're cleaning the kitchen, or only watch your guilty pleasure show while you're on the treadmill.
Huh. Okay, I can see how that would work. You get the reward during the task.
Exactly. It sweetens the deal for your brain, makes the chore less aversive, and helps build consistency for those tasks you usually dread.
Those are really practical, brain-friendly tools. And, you know, hearing you explain them, especially the name the emotion one,
Yep.
it resonates. I have to admit, I used to be, well, pretty expert level at avoiding things. Emails I needed to send, deadlines looming, even hobbies I actually wanted to do. I'd have all these reasons, right? I'm too tired. I'm just so busy. I'm not quite ready yet. But underneath all that, looking back, I think I was mostly just afraid. Afraid I'd mess it up. Afraid it wouldn't be good enough. Afraid maybe that I wasn't good enough.
That's incredibly honest and
Yeah.
common.
Yeah, and then I tried that name the emotion thing. I remember actually sitting down with my journal, kind of forcing myself and writing, I'm afraid this project is going to show everyone I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just writing it down, just admitting it, even just to myself, something shifted. It wasn't like, bam, instant productivity machine. Not at all. But I felt braver, maybe? No, I mean, I still procrastinate sometimes, let's be real. But it's less. And when I catch myself doing it, I try to approach it with curiosity now, instead of beating myself up. It's been a big change.
That's such a powerful example of exactly what we're talking about. It perfectly highlights the main takeaway here. You don't need some massive personality transplant to tackle procrastination. It's about small, consistent, brain-smart steps. Remember, it's consistency, not intensity, that really rewires behavior over time.
Small steps, consistency.
Yeah, think about it. One 5-minute start, one really specific implementation intention, one moment where you pause and name the feeling like you did. That's how you start to break that old procrastination loop. That's genuinely how you build momentum in the right direction.
That feels much more manageable and hopeful, actually. Okay, so let's quickly recap the big ideas from our deep dive today. First, procrastination. It's not a character flaw like laziness. It's more of a brain-based emotional reaction, a coping mechanism.
Right, an attempt to avoid negative feelings.
And the key triggers we talked about were time inconsistency, our brains wanting rewards now, not later, task aversion, avoiding stuff that feels hard, boring, or scary, and cognitive overload, just too much mental clutter.
Those are the big 3.
And the tools to fight back, brain style, the 5-minute start trick, making those super specific implementation intentions. pausing to name the emotion, making progress visible, and that clever temptation bundling idea.
Those are the core strategies, yeah. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with. Remember, your brain's fundamental job is to protect you. It's not actually trying to sabotage your goals. But with awareness of these patterns and by using these kinds of small, consistent shifts, you absolutely can train it. Train it to take the actions that really line up with what matters most to you. Put you back in the driver's seat.
That's a great way to frame it. Empowering. So, we really want to encourage you, our listener, to keep thinking about this. Maybe mull over these two questions this week or chat about them with someone. First, what's one thing, just one task you've been putting off? And see if you can identify the feeling that might be lurking underneath that delay. And second, which one of these brain-based strategies we talked about today feels like something you could actually try? Commit to trying just one this week. Our encouragement is simply this. Take one small step today, and maybe be a little kinder to your future self in the process.